You are listening to CrossTalk, a safe place to discuss addiction, recovery, harm reduction, and everything in between. Support for this podcast comes from the Kentucky Opioid Response Effort and Advocates of Recovery. Content and production by the team at Turning Point Recovery Community Center. Now, buckle up and get ready for the show.
Welcome everyone to CrossTalk Recovery, the recovery podcast that supports all forms of recovery. I'm Matt Lewis, and today I'm going to gracefully bow out of the podcast to allow the women to talk about one of the new programs offered at Four Rivers to help moms who struggle with addiction, called Reset. I just wanted to say that I fully support this program and women in general, and I'm going to let them discuss this topic as they know way more about it than I do. So enjoy. Michelle?
All right. Thanks, Matt. My name is Michelle Fondal. I work with Turning Point Recovery Community.
My name is Amanda Wiersma.
My name is Daisha Johnson.
My name is Sarah Tinsley. I'm also a peer support specialist at Turning Point Recovery Community Center.
All right. Our guest with us today is Daisha. She's got a program next door that we wanted to talk a little bit about today. Daisha, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself first?
Sure.
Hey, girl.
Hey. Again, my name is Daisha Johnson. I am employed at Four Rivers Behavioral Health as a community support professional. I am new to my role. I've been here since March. I've been in the social work field since about 2018.
Awesome.
I have worked with individuals who've been diagnosed with substance use disorder. I did a little work in the legal aspect of rehabilitation and also in the school setting. I found my home in the recovery community. It is something that I enjoy, and I'm excited for the opportunity to be here with you all today.
Great.
Well, thank you.
We're so excited to have you.
Yes.
So what got you into working in recovery?
My first position in recovery was at Centerpoint Recovery for Men.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
I worked there under Thelma, and that just really opened my eyes to a lot of different social issues that come along with being a person in recovery, trying to get connected again with family members, legal issues, as well as trying to stay on track, obviously. So I learned a lot working there, and I honestly was not sure when I first started what population of people I wanted to work with. So like I said, I found my home there. Unfortunately, COVID hit, and so I had to take other positions. So I was thankful for the experience working in other places, but I really enjoy working with individuals in recovery and getting a good idea of other services and programs that can assist them be successful.
Wow,
And that's awesome because you're not in recovery yourself personally, are you? You
No,
just have
I'm
a heart
not.
for this.
I just have a heart for it.
That's awesome.
I have multiple loved ones who do use and abuse substances, as well as those who are in recovery. I believe that when an individual is in recovery, it does not just affect them. It
it's a
affects the
family disease for sure.
As a whole.
Yeah.
So I feel like, working together with individuals like myself who have a heart for it, as well as individuals who are in recovery, that's the way that we're going to tackle this issue as a society.
That's
It's
awesome.
going to take everyone.
We definitely need people like you.
I appreciate
Absolutely.
that.
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate that.
And it's pretty neat because you've seen it from the other side as someone who has been directly affected by people who are actively using. So
Definitely.
And I think some people that could have went, like I know people who have loved ones and family members and, still in addiction, and so they're the other way. You know what I mean? They don't have that heart for it yet. They don't have that care. They're bitter. They're angry.
Just
and
may
they
not understand it.
They just don't get it yet. So I think for somebody from your standpoint, that's really important that we've got people like that working.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
And, I think it's cool, not only do you have your program next door, but you've worked in long-term recovery as well. So you see them withdrawing off the drugs. You see them working a program, and you've seen all of that firsthand by being in the SOS dorm. Yeah. And, and now you're, kind of doing like the outpatient thing. So, I think you've got a great perspective in all aspects to be able to help somebody. I think that's
Absolutely.
pretty remarkable.
It's good stuff.
It is. Yeah.
So, do you want to tell us a little bit about your program, what it consists of, and what its requirements are, things of that nature?
Definitely. So I act as the case manager for a brand new program called Reset. It is grant funded. Like I said, it's brand new, so I'm ecstatic about getting the opportunity to put the word out about it.
Heck yeah.
Reset is a mobile app that individuals can download. They will complete lessons which encourage them to continue on with their successful recovery journey. Reset is for mothers who have been diagnosed with a substance use disorder and that have used opioids in the past. There aren't any age requirements as far as their children. And we also include pregnant mothers as well. So if you're a first-time mother and pregnant, that's okay too. Like I said, they'll download the digital app. They'll complete the lessons. As they complete the lessons, they will have an opportunity to spin a digital prize wheel.
Yeah.
And on that prize wheel, they can have an opportunity to win digital gift cards.
So there's some incentive,
Yeah.
for him to, that's good.
Yes, there are incentives. Reset is, the idea behind Reset is to use it as a tool along with seeing a clinician. Again, just to make sure that they have a successful recovery journey.
Sure.
I act as a case manager. As they are completing the lessons, I can see their progress. They can document if they're having triggers or thoughts of using, and I'm just in the background as a positive support for them to continue on with their journey. I have a multitude of resources from our community partners. So I have that as well. As they are completing their lessons at any point in time, they want to let me know that if there are other barriers they're facing, I'm always here to assist in that way as well.
We'll be right back.
Hey y'all, did you know it's illegal to own just one guinea pig in Switzerland because they get lonely? Here at Turning Point, we don't want you to ever be lonely either. That's why we're open 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Always feel free to come hang with our friendly staff, and don't forget your guinea pig. We're located at 415 Broadway Street, downtown Paducah.
Hello everybody. You want to know something? My biggest issue with meetings is despite their name, they are never about me. Here at Turning Point, all of our meetings are for you and about you. We have meetings at least 3 times a day, 7 days a week. We are located at 415 Broadway, Paducah, Kentucky. Call 270-444-3621 for more information.
That's great.
Yeah,
for people that don't have transportation or don't have, that's a really awesome to be able to get something like that from your own home, because
Definitely.
Yeah, and it is it user friendly?
It is very user friendly. It's very user friendly. I believe it said that as long as you can read on a 7th grade level,
okay.
7th grade comprehension skills, you'll be able to do it. Again, it's on your phone, so you have access to it whenever you would like. During your downtime, maybe at night if you're not doing anything, it's just at your own pace. If the ladies are completing 3 to 4 lessons a week, they will have completed the whole program in about 12 weeks.
Okay.
So they'll sign up for it once you complete the lessons. You've completed the app. But again, it's whenever you want to do it, just something to do during your downtime.
Just something positive, like instead of scrolling through Facebook or like something for your, a good place to put your mind and information to get. I think that's great.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
There are also opportunities to win gift cards with producing a negative drug screen. So again, it's just a positive support, just trying to reward these ladies for continuing on being successful on their journey. So
Great.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It is great.
And so each lesson's about 30 minutes long, or
yes, about 30 minutes. After you go through the lesson, you'll have an opportunity to answer a few questions. After you answer the questions about the lesson, that is when you would have the opportunity to spin the digital prize wheel.
Okay.
Great.
Gift cards.
Sister loves gift cards.
Yes.
I'm very excited about
Yeah.
it. Like I said, it's brand new, so we're just trying to get the word out to these ladies and let them know that this is an awesome resource that they can utilize as they're continuing on their journeys.
I know we've definitely been telling our consumers
Yes.
about it. We've been trying to
Yes.
get anybody we
And I
can
thank- and I
to
thank
jump
you
on
all for
board.
that.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Because I know that I personally burn up a lot of time on the internet just scrolling, just, and I think being engaged in something so positive, to come up with recovery goals and plans and things like that, I think that's really, really helpful, to get your mind back focused on your recovery, and then it makes you feel good about yourself whenever you're working a recovery plan, and it's like, okay, I'm doing what I need to be doing for my recovery. It kind of builds up your self-worth and your self-love, and it's just like, okay, I'm doing something good. But not only that, then you get rewarded, so it kind of
Right.
encourages you to keep
To
going,
keep coming back. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think that's great.
Well, I know for me, just learning new information, just learning about my recovery helps me stay on track to, getting new information. So I could see where that would be a benefit.
Sure.
Something I noticed about it when I was able to flip through and see some of the lessons was that it's very, especially the first lesson, they're very repetitive. Like it might ask the same question. So if you didn't have any prior knowledge of recovery, we think we know what triggers are. We think everybody, but if you've never been sober before, maybe you don't know exactly, and it will ask like over and over again to that repetition to get it in your head. You were asking about it being user friendly. I just think it really, the way they give the information, it gets it in your head good. I really like the way they did that.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that feedback.
Yes.
And when I was discussing this with you before, you had mentioned that that they get ear pods. So
Yes,
that
they
can,
do. I forgot about
Yeah.
that.
So
So when you sign up, you get a pair of AirPods. That is an incentive as well as getting signed up for the program.
I think that's great. That way, if you're waiting at a doctor's office and you're bored, you can get on there and do it in
Yeah.
your spare time. Or
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
you can just plug them in your ears and work on it there, and listen to music while you're doing it. Just
That's good stuff.
Just,
It's another
that's
incentive
another
for 'em.
incentive. Absolutely. I think that's great.
Kelly.
Me too. So I figured we could also talk about different challenges moms face in recovery. I guess I can go first. So let's see. I face numerous challenges being a mom since I've been in recovery. Kind of like setting healthy boundaries with my kids. Making sure they have curfews. I don't allow them, to go to certain places.
And you have two girls,
Yes,
right?
I have two teenage daughters, and reconnecting with them. At first, I wanted to give them, money and take them here and take them there at first because I was kind of parenting out of guilt still.
Yeah.
But
I think that's really common for people
Yeah.
who are in recovery.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah.
So-
in a way, you're trying
Yeah.
to maybe make up for some
Oh,
time
yeah.
and things that you've
Yeah.
missed out on. So that's understandable.
Yeah. So, setting those boundaries once they finally did come home, I was like, okay, I've got to have a plan. My kids need to have a curfew. We need to have a routine. And, teenagers, they'll try to, push you to get them to do things.
Yeah.
And I've had to stand firm and be like, look, this is the way it needs to be. Like, you may not always understand why I have these rules, but I know that is what's best, So I try to,
Right.
stick to my
Especially
guns.
with that one that's just like you.
Oh, those are always
Oh, yeah.
very difficult to deal with.
She has one that is her mini me.
Yeah. So,
The struggles that I face being in recovery as a mom is that I have two adult children. So I didn't get into my addiction until I was older. So they remember what mom was like before addiction.
Oh,
So
wow.
they're a little harder to work on my relationship now that I'm in recovery because, like I said, they remember what times were like when, we had the normal life
Right.
home setting. And one one of my adult children, she has forgiven me, and we have a great relationship. But the other one, he is still not so forgiving.
Struggling
we
with forgiveness.
Absolutely, yeah. We're still working on that relationship. You know, I got a happy Mother's Day out of him.
Awesome.
So
That's wonderful.
That's a baby step.
That's nice.
So those are the kind of challenges that I face, is just mending the relationship with those two. And my younger two are teenagers, and I do the same thing, parenting out of guilt. And I find out that is doing more harm than good.
Right.
So I just have to just remember that, you know, kids like consistency.
They do, and they want rules. They want structure. They're not
Yeah.
going to tell you that.
Yeah, right.
I don't even think they know that they do, but they need that, you know. Yeah.
So I just have to tell myself to be consistent and, you know, make sure that I stick to my guns and what I say, I mean, and just stick with it. And just remember to love them and let them know that Mom's here and I'm not going anywhere.
Absolutely.
And so that's pretty much just what, you know, the challenges that I face at being a mom in recovery.
And I really, as someone who's been around you and your girls, like at our events and stuff, like, I mean, that really, like, to me, y'all both are excellent mothers. Like, to see that relationship with your kid, and I know you're a parent, but you can tell y'all are friends too. Like, y'all cut up, you laugh, you have a good time. Like, it's really awesome to see y'all with your kids. For me, like,
Thank you.
That's great.
You know, another challenge that I faced is whenever I think our oldest children probably suffer the most, in my opinion. My oldest daughter, whenever we do have a disagreement, like, you can instantly see it comes over her, that pain comes forward, and she'll lash out and she'll say things she don't necessarily mean. And, you know, early in recovery, I used to pray before my kids came home, Lord, bringing my kids home. And then I realized during an argument between me and her, because she likes to be in control, you know, because she had to, like, help run the household there for a little while, you know. So for her, backing off and trusting me has kind of been difficult for her. But now I pray, Lord, heal her from the things that I've done.
Absolutely.
You know, those selfish prayers in the beginning, I meant well, but now it's like, you know, I'll be 4 years sober Friday, and God, you know.
That's wonderful. That is wonderful.
You know, and now I've learned to kind of, like, change my prayers, you know, and for they're not so selfish to, like, continue to heal these children, because 4 years later, she's still affected by what I've done in the past.
Sure.
And, you know, and I may be doing well, you know, but, you know, like, our families are hurt. They're hurt longer than we were ever hurt, you know. My last year was my most difficult year in addiction. I was out there for numerous years.
Right.
And my family was hurting long before I ever felt that pain.
Before you even knew it was a problem, probably.
Yeah. So it's just, I try to put myself in their shoes sometimes and just, you know, just be like, okay, you know, they're still a little fearful, you know.
Sure.
But that trust is returning slowly but surely, you know.
We'll be right back.
Our community is in the process of healing. While we rebuild physically, it's important not to neglect our mental health. Common responses to traumatic events can include grief, anxiety, depression, trouble sleeping, or even fear. These feelings are normal reactions. When these feelings become too hard to manage on your own, consider calling the 24-hour crisis line at 1-800-592-3980. Help is just a call away. Did you know that recovery from substance use disorder and mental health go hand in hand? That is why the caring and compassionate mental health professionals at Four Rivers Behavioral Health in Paducah are here to help you find your balance. They are proud of you for making the changes necessary to live a healthier life and would love to see you reach your full potential. Give them a call at 270-442-7121 or stop by the downtown location at 425 Broadway in Paducah, Kentucky.
My situation's a little different, which I have a son that I'm still waiting to reconnect with. you know, it's not that I'm okay with it, but I had to let it go. If I held on to that every day and let it hurt every day, I would be high. I wouldn't be sober right now. So that'll be in God's timing. You know, I don't love it, but I've accepted it. He's very well taken care of. But Noah, my son, is he's autistic and nonverbal. So I don't think if he remembers any of that.
Right.
Yeah.
He doesn't, you know, and I would come in after being gone for months, and I would think, this is the time. This time I'm going to walk in the door, and he's not going to know who I am. That never happened, you know. To him, it was just like I had been there all along. We just picked right back up. So some people might not see that as a blessing. I find him being the way that he is, I mean, especially for our circumstance, just it is a blessing to me. But I wasn't able to be a mom when I was you. Some people function and still have. Mm-hmm. I could not. I mean, I had no business taking care of my children. I was really lucky to have family that stepped in, you know, because if I would have had to have done it on my own and didn't, you know, there's no telling where those kids would be. They're just.
Thank the Lord.
Yes, thank you, Jesus.
Me too. Yeah.
Yep.
Somebody was looking over my children the entire time. Their grandparents were just excellent. You know, my kids chose not to talk to me. They weren't kept from me.
Right.
And I think that's what helped play a role in my bottom, you know. They weren't kept from me. Like, they knew Mom had messed up and I'm done with her. And that ripped
I can't
my
imagine.
soul out.
Yeah, that's kind of how my situation was as well.
And it just... Yep. It motivated me, you know. And not only did I want to get sober, but it motivated me on the difficult days. Keep pushing forward, you know.
Yes. And to anybody that's watching or listening that is struggling with stuff with their kids, like these two women, this is proof that if you keep doing what you are supposed to be doing, if you stay sober, if you work a program, if you that this is possible.
Yes,
because if it's possible for me, it's possible for anybody.
Yes.
And like I said, if you could see these two ladies with their kids, you would never know that. So just you know, keep trying. It does. Things do get better.
And if I had access to programs like Daisha's, it definitely would have happened sooner.
Yes. Right.
I wish that I had access to these programs back when I was struggling, but unfortunately, either I was unaware of these programs or they just didn't exist.
Right.
So,
you know, I was so scared to reach out because I was like, if I reach out and get help, I'm going to lose my children. Mm-hmm. If somebody knows what I'm doing, they're going to take them from me, you know, and it was so fearful. And now, being a person in recovery, I see that there's so many other avenues besides like inpatient treatment.
Right.
You know, I just didn't know. I didn't know the options, and that's one thing I like about our podcast is we're able to get information out there
to people, you know, that could utilize this. Absolutely.
Like, yes, we're here to help support you in your journey. You know.
Right.
I think it's amazing that you all can be so transparent. Like you said, a lot of people have issues with admitting that they need help for a variety of different reasons. So I just want to commend you all for sticking with it, being transparent. I know you all will give a lot of hope to other people out here who are in active addiction that know that they have a problem but don't know which way to go. Right. And know that, you know, there is a safe place for them to go. There are people here that are willing to help them, meet them wherever they're at.
Absolutely.
And assist. So I commend you all for that.
Thank you.
In a judgment-free area is what's so important. You know, it's like you're here because you want to be here. You want to help women because this is a career path that you have chosen, you know. With your degree, you could have went so many different areas, you know. But this is where your heart has brought you, and I think that's good to know that not only do you have family members or friends who have struggled, you know, you got a degree, you're here because you want to be, and you've seen it, you know, firsthand, and I think that says a lot.
It's so fulfilling. It's so fulfilling to meet individuals and see how broken they are and see, you know, the challenges that they're facing, to see them pull through that, you know, to know that it is possible. It's one thing to, you know, say that you're here to help and say that we have these programs, but to see the change in people
amazing.
is so fulfilling.
It is.
And it lets you know that, the work that you are doing, there is a reward, at the
Absolutely.
end of it. Individuals, mothers getting reunited with their children. That's huge. People reconnecting with their families, getting their first vehicles and jobs,
Yes.
decorating their places.
Yes.
It's definitely humbling, as well, and keeps me focused and grateful and thankful for the things that I have. So
Yes,
it's
that is
amazing.
wonderful.
Something I always like to share is, we don't always get everything back immediately. It was 32 months before my children moved back in with me. So I like to share that to let people know, just keep pushing
Right,
forward.
just because it's not happening yet does not mean it's not going to happen,
Right. And I just think women and men too both need to believe, like, if I just keep doing the next right thing, like, the door's going to be open. All my hard work's going to pay off. You just got to stay you just got to be humble and keep persevering through the tough times, and it does pay off. I'm living proof. Amanda's living proof. Sarah, I almost called you Amanda again. Sarah
She's pretty
is
important.
living proof, that we do recover and we can regain our life back. And we don't have to be controlled by a mind or mood altering substance to have this happy, joyous, and free life.
Amen.
So,
Amen. Good stuff,
That is
guys.
good stuff.
good stuff.
Daisha, we so appreciate you coming and talking to us, letting
I
everybody know
appreciate
about
it.
your program. We're definitely screaming it from the rooftops.
Yes.
Anybody that we think could
appreciate that.
utilize it, we're sending them your way.
That's
so
awesome. Like
Yes.
I said, it's brand new, so just trying to get the word out. And I appreciate the opportunity to sit and talk with you ladies,
absolutely.
Yes.
and have an opportunity to be on the podcast. So I appreciate the invite. Thank you.
Yes.
All right, guys. Well, thanks everybody for coming out. Watch us on YouTube. Click the link in the description. Listen to us on Spotify, Apple, Google, and Podbean. And everybody just have a great day. Thanks.
Thanks.
See ya.
Have a great
Thank
day.
you.
Bye.
If you or someone you know is struggling with addiction or in recovery and needs guidance, speak with Turning Point's team of peer support specialists by calling 270-444-3621. You are not alone, and we are proof that recovery is possible.